Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast where we try to figure it all out with your hosts, Brandon and Collin. On this week's show, Motley Chill.
Ahoy! That's what we're gonna...
Ahoy! Ahoy! It is, I'm in a basement, but no need to be alarmed. There's no storms. There is just me needing to record here. So,
all right. This is good news.
All is well.
Already had the storms earlier this week.
Yes.
Now it's just freezing cold, right?
Oh my goodness. I was so... and it's one of those things where it's really like not super cold because we like in the wintertime we were experiencing like negative 30, but after like a spring 40 degrees feels insanely chilly. Like it just does.
That's true, but you have to remember today it was 40 some degrees, but there was also a 21 mile an hour northwest wind, at least down here. So the wind it felt like 35, right? So it was not exactly.
The wind has been unrelenting recently.
Yeah, last couple of days. 2 days, I guess. It's been pretty gnarly, right? Like
it's been really bad, and which is great whenever I'm heading north because I get amazing gas mileage. Until then, the wind switched to the north, or coming out of the north. So now, so that I was like, going home won't be fun. But I did get like 42 miles to the gallon going home the other day, so that was amazing.
Little wind boost, right? Like
yes, like set sail
up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why don't we have sails on our cars? That's what I want to know.
I feel like because the wind is so unpredictable, right? And as we know from world history, you don't really sail into the wind particularly well, and you can't really tack on a road. So
that doesn't
feel like it would be bad. So this is we're not in full blown Mad Max yet. Okay, we're still
one more presidential election, and boy howdy.
Oh man. So yeah, we'll be on the maybe. But currently we can still use the road. So that's what. So yes, it's very windy, very blustery, very insane. Right? We at least lucked out here, right? Because all the storms on Monday went like north of us, right? Like all of them. Like the line was just north, like the front was just north of us, and so. It rained a lot, but there was nothing really, nothing too, treacherous, which is nice. It's handy
for once,
right? Yeah, don't like that.
We had a double line of storms move through, such that Noah's first baseball practice was indeed canceled.
Man.
Which we all everybody knew, but I was like, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be the guy who jumps on the message thread with the group and is like, is it canceled? Because everybody knows, right? I'm going to wait for the coach to do their thing to reach out to everybody. So the coaches they'll let us know. I'm not going to be the preemptive parent who jumps in here. But boy, howdy, I was staring hard at my phone at 3:00 when I was like, they still haven't called this. Everybody's saying, we're in an elevated 4 out of whatever for tornadoes starting at 5, which I was like, which is literally in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, but they did cancel.
That's good.
Yes.
I don't know. The other day, we had, it was raining all day. Mm-hmm. And so I was just waiting. I was staring at my computer, my email, right? Surely the baseball and track coach are going to email me any minute now and tell me that the meet is canceled. Because as we know, baseball players allergic to rain.
Very much so. Very much so.
And it was cold and rainy, blah, blah, blah. And Nope. They're just like, dismiss the baseball. And it's like, what? Oh, hold on. Seriously? Like, guys, it's gonna be like whatever. I don't care. I mean, I don't care. I'm staying here. So, but I was just like, I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. Like track, I can kind of see, but like they're doing any jumping or anything, like that's not gonna fly, pun intended. So like, they're not gonna, you don't want to jump in that sand, right? That would be terrible. Just like, boom, like, oh no.
Right. Yeah. Not very cushiony when you land like that.
No, just like slam into the ground. So like, might as well just jump on the grass at that point. Like,
right. Well,
so, but they went. So whatever. Like, good for you guys, I guess. I don't know.
Shocking.
Yeah, I was surprised, but they went. So okay. But yeah, nice and chilly this week. Made recess super fun. But I didn't have recess due today, so
but you do get to stand out. People. So good.
I had inside work room today, so all the people that was like missing work, I just stayed inside and stared at them while they're working. Like, work quieter. What are you doing?
Stop looking at each other.
Yeah, I really like to. This may be a bit petty of me, but like especially the fifth graders, right? I'm like a little bit extra like stern with them, I gotta set the bar. I gotta set the tone for next year. I don't want them coming in thinking, they can just do whatever they want.
No.
So I give them the old like, you're in. This is not the talking room. You move over here now. Like, slam. Got to give them that.
Nice. Really lay down the law. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it works or not, but it's okay.
It sounds good. And I think
it sounds good. Some years it works. Some years it doesn't work. Right. Like this year, it didn't work. Right. The kids just come in. They're just like, they're like just insane. Right. But like the year before, at least the first day of school, the kids all came in and they sat down in their chairs and they like didn't say a word. It was the most hysterical thing ever. They're just like, they just came in, sat down, and they just sat there. It's like staring ominously.
Nice.
I was just standing by the door and they're like, just like standing there. Like, yes I am. Haha.
Here I am.
Leering from the doorway.
Yes. Well, you can either be, I was going to say, you could be leering from the doorway, or you could be sitting out in the cold with your hood up and brooding as you walk around.
Yeah, but it'd be on the cold, so I don't want to do that. That's not very fun. I don't want
to. I know. We
Megan being broody. Is she in her emo phase when it's this cold outside?
Yes, she does. She wraps herself in layers and decides that she wants to sit by the heater and just stare.
Yeah. But on the black pet sitter hoodie.
Yes. Storm around the house. Standing in corners and staring out the windows. Yeah. No, we went to a new like young professionals or like it was like emerging leaders kind of group thingy, and they are just getting off the ground and needing a lot of help, and so we try and decide if we're going to be involved or not in that, or kind of how dedicated we can be. And so when we were on a family walk through the neighborhood, I was like, you know what? I've decided what role I need on a committee. And Megan was like, no, we don't have time. We've already talked about this. And I was like, blah, blah. I was like, no, I need to be the committee. I need to be a wizard. I need to be the brooding wizard that's in the corner that just thinks everybody's idea is really bad and just throws it back at them and then just goes back to brooding in my deep thoughts in the corner. So I am open to the position of broody wizard on any, especially if it's a council. Every council needs a wizard.
That's true.
So that's
I think you pretty much nailed why I am not on any committees at school, right? I feel like this is
aha. I see.
90% of the issues, like I literally don't care. This doesn't affect me at all, whatever. And then like the like 10% I'm like super animated about and like very over the top chatty.
Yes.
So like
Yes.
so I'm not on a leadership team. Long story short, I know.
Uh-huh. They decided maybe we don't have him do that.
Yeah.
A bad choice.
Yeah, it's the English teacher. So I love to refer to her as our fearless leader. She loves that.
Yes.
It makes her very happy.
I bet. I bet that's a very endearing thing to say to do.
Mm-hmm. It's said with love, so it's fine. But
absolutely, it's when you say, "I hope this is received as it was sent with love."
Oh no, we're not quite that cringe.
Fine.
I will take this opportunity just to say publicly announce that I am pretty lucky in my team dynamic, right? That like a lot of other grade levels, there's some very high strung people, right? And they're very like we gotta do this, we gotta do this, and like all of us on sixth grade this year is like, yeah, okay, like it's just like we're I like to think that we're pretty chill about things, right? Like she definitely is, and I usually am sometimes. And then the other lady is pretty just like, okay. So like I like to feel like we're just pretty like,
yeah,
all right. Pretty chill most of the time, right? Just do our thing. Whatever.
Mostly chill.
So mostly chill. Mostly. Not 100% obviously, because I don't, I can't do it 100% of the time. There are sometimes where I have to be like,
I went to type in mostly chill into the document and it came up Motley Chill. And I think that'd be a great like new wave funk band name. I don't know.
Motley Chill.
Motley
right? Like
Chill.
Easy listening.
Easy listening.
Be one of those like lo-fi hip hop.
Oh yes,
things,
that's
right?
What I'm. Yes,
like,
yeah.
One of those lo-fi girl like rip off things.
Mm-hmm. This is exactly Motley.
Yeah, Motley Chill. It's like 80s hair metal, but like lo-fi, right? Like
lo-fi 80s hair metal. Oh my gosh, surely that's got to be something. Surely somebody's done something with that. I don't. No, what came up was actually a TikTok thing saying I made a 80s hair metal music video using AI. I am not clicking on that. So
no, that's no good.
Moving away.
Those videos are like really bad and like ridiculous and blah. So it's fine. Whatever.
I like that concept though. No,
I think already it's way better than bad AI videos. I hate those. I always like, again, whenever I do find myself on like YouTube Shorts or something, and like, again, that algorithm is completely broken because like I have there's no reason that I should get some of the things that they do. Like, what?
Yeah,
is this? But it's like, it's always something dumb like countries as people AI generated. Like, this is just dumb. Like, what?
This is garbage. Why is
like,
there?
Why? What is this? Like, who wants this? Like, I don't understand. Like,
well, and that's the big thing with the AI generated content of like, it's really easy to make. The bar is really low. It's really bad. And so it takes the problem of there being too much stuff on the internet and too much crap on the internet and just makes it exponentially worse. Because now
it's just like noise. Like, what?
Yeah. So I'm glad I'm not an engineer at Google because like, how the heck are you going to devise something to parse through all of that to actually get at people's relevant questions and answers and things like that? Because it's just immense now and it's not going to get any better.
Yeah, no. And it's just, I don't even know if they want to parse it, right? I don't know if they're interested in that currently. Like, but it is so bad. And it's just so like I can't listen to the same 4 background songs over and over again. That's really annoying. I can't, listen to the same stupid AI generated voice guy, right, over and over. Like, I don't want to hear this. This is not what I want. Like, go like, what is this?
Now, I will say,
and it's all like the text to speech thing, but the text is like, it's definitely not like it's also it's like very uncanny valley because like the grammar is like almost good. Or it's like
yes,
almost passable. But
yeah.
there's always like some tense things or some like subject verb things that are like just wrong. And you're just like, nah, I can't, nah. Like, what are you? Like, oh no, this was just like a random person typing in here. So it's either a child or, right, like just some Chinese person typing in English. Like,
or why not both? Yeah.
oh, well, yeah, wow.
Anyway, there is one AI one that I do like following. I don't know if you've seen this. He makes AI shorts about the life of a gnome on like a foreign planet, or like
no, I have not seen that.
No, it is amazing. And then
but that's like that sounds like curated, like with a direction. Right?
Yes, no, it's like, actually a story. The other one that I really like, and I need to figure out how to find links to this. The guy does or I don't know who the creator is, but they do an AI generated with like storyboarding about the like the carrots taking over from the broccoli and like the wars that they fight and the wizards and things like that. It's amazing. And like,
does this take place in the same universe as Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? That's what I need to know.
Unknown, but I'm going to go ahead and say obviously yes.
Likely,
very, very likely.
Yeah.
So, so it's one of those things of in the hands of an actual creator and like artist, it can be really cool and fun.
Yeah.
But in the hands of everybody else.
Yes, I saw one the other day, right? And it was just like again, at work, a lot of times I just like put on like random music when I'm doing stuff, right? When I'm like, whatever. I just put on like background music, like really low, like when I'm like during my plan time when I'm working, right? And one of them was kind of cool. It was like a balcony vibe, right? But it had like this like AI generated video thing, right? And it was so distressing to look at because it was like showing, it was like people, right? And it was like a picture and it would like morph into a different picture. But you know how like just like straight up AI a lot of times like gets just like hands look wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you feed it stuff and then it's like, oh, I can make a hand. No. And sometimes like eyes look like wrong. Just like wrong enough that you're like, it was just a whole bunch of that for like the whole thing. And I was like, I can't even look at this. Like this is so upsetting. And and a bunch of the comments, they're probably bots, but they're like, oh, great video. I love it. Like, no, you're a bot. So like, whatever. But like, no, this is awful. I don't know if you're a human with eyes, but this is so like hurtful to my like sense of like perspective and like what people look like that I can't focus on anything else right now. And knowing that it's there, I can't even listen to this music anymore. So I have to find something new.
Yeah,
it's so bad. I was just like, it was like so like my eyes hurt looking at this. Like I don't know.
Early on, one of the things that I saw that people were kind of waving the warning flags about was actually in YouTube for children's content. And it wasn't even like, whatever people's children's content, but like, because people use that as a lot of like, it just needs to sit in the background and be somewhat distracting. AI was was used by a lot of channels to just grab like all sorts of different concepts to mush in together and make videos. And because these
terrible.
Because these production companies were like, there was no QA, there was nothing about these. They were just making them and shipping them out. Like terrible, horrible things were being made by AI and being shoved onto these children's channels because they were so desperate for more content and trying to have fresh content and have the ones uploaded and all this stuff. And nobody was going back and actually watching it until the parents were sitting there with their toddler being like, this is actually highly disturbing. Like, why is Mickey eating the it's just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
oops. So again, oversight's good, people. Use it carefully.
Yeah. Right. That's the stuff that's like bad. I think some of the stuff for AI when they're like, oh, we can like run efficiency models for like logistics and like distribution and like transportation things. Like, no, do that. Do that. More of that one. Okay. At least not like really horrible art projects. We don't need that in our life. Okay. You can talk about efficiency and all that stuff. That's good. We like that. Okay. Yay. But not all this other, like, I just don't need that in my life. Go away.
we use it for a couple different things. One thing I like to do is feed it different pages on our website. So I'll just to grab an URL, throw it in the AI, and I'll say, I'll actually ask it about that web page, about the branding, about the messaging, about the consistency, about things like that, and like recommendations to make it better. And that's actually been really beneficial for us to be able to do that. Or you can throw pictures at it and say, like, I need help writing a caption for this for a social media post to get these kind of clients or for this kind of message or for this kind of stuff. And once it spits out one you like, you can say, write 20 more like that. And it just goes, all the way down. And you're like, okay, well, that's really helpful for me to get some ideas now to then go and expand these or make changes or whatever. But that's been kind of this like idea generation has been very helpful.
Yeah. I used one of the art generator things for one of my school posters, right? I needed because I couldn't find a picture that I liked good enough. So when I did my heat transfer, like thermodynamics little science side questy thing, I generated a snowman roasting a marshmallow over a campfire.
Yes.
And so I used that, but I gave it the criteria. It's like, I need this because all the other ones were like really bad or not existent. And so I did that. But
close observers will note that the 2 episodes ago, Oops, All Illusions, the photo for that was actually AI generated from the Iliad. But
I thought it was the Iliad. I don't know, but very nice. There you go. Anyway, so I'll use it for random junk projects. But but I've only used it once. I probably should use it. Maybe I should use it for my other one because I don't have a good cover photo for that thing. So, but yeah, I'd use it for that just because I was toying with it, like seeing. But other than that, I just like the video, the shorts and stuff are just like they're so bad.
Yeah,
like, I'm just like, why does this exist?
to
what
end?
Right? Like you said, a lot of it's just there to be mindless filler, right? But like, why? Like, it's not like entertaining. Like, it's not. I don't know. Apparently, I'm in the minority in this particular situation, but like, I don't.
Yeah.
Want this? I don't.
Just terrible, Just terrible.
Whatever.
Well, yeah, it's so again, I will always add my caveat. Just make sure that you always say please and thank you so that when the AI overlords take over, they will show kindness and mercy towards you because you were kind to them.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Look, hey, it's fine.
Yeah, it's great. There you go.
Did I tell you about our adventure that we went on this week? Did I tell you about this? Did I tell you about our adventure?
No, but Dad mentioned that you had
oh.
quite an adventurous time because he came down for Easter. And he was like, "You should ask your brother about his little trip he took." I was like, "Oh, yes, I will."
Oh man! Look, all I gotta say,
he gave me a brief kind of outline, but like that was it.
Look, so it was,
ladies and gentlemen, the cliff notes I got is Collin fell victim to false advertising. That's what happened here.
Well, so we kids were on like an extended like way their school works. There's just like they had this weird like really long Easter break for their school. So we it didn't do anything, and then we were like, oh well, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. We should go do something. Huh.
And something did happen.
And I was searching, and we were like, let's go somewhere for a night or a day trip. And then I started searching, and I remembered that I had actually met these people at a networking event in town like a long time ago. So I reached out to them because I tried to do something on their website, and they said it wasn't available. And then I sent a request, and it was like, hey, I know this is really last minute, as in like, we want to show up tomorrow, but can we stay in your treehouse? Because we found a place that is close to us that does glamping. Okay. So this is glamorous camping. And they originally started out with those big, heavy canvas tents that were built up on a little platform. And then like the really, really nice tents. And you'd unzip all these things, and inside was like a queen mattress that was super nice with really nice sheets. And there was lights and a coffee machine and a flushable toilet out back and nice coffee, a fire pit, and all meant to be like your little, like, you didn't have to bring it, didn't have to do anything. You just showed up with some food and you stayed there for the week or weekend. And they had built a treehouse, and I was like, well, I don't want to stay in a tent, but I will stay in a treehouse. So the guy was like, well, first off, typically we don't allow children because we had some very bad incidents last year. So we are trying to figure out how best to accommodate them while also being respectful to other campers that are there. But we have nobody else here this weekend, so come on down. And I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, do you know like a little bit about it? And I was like, well, I remember. And he was like, yeah, because I said, well, just tell me, remind me. And he goes, well, we've got water for you, and we'll have some electricity. And
these are very vague.
And but he said all you need to bring is your drinks, and he said extra what did he say, extra drinks and your food, and everything else is taken care of. And I was like, awesome. I said, so we don't need to bring sleeping bags? And he's like, oh, no, everything's full, it got everything on it. You just show up with your extra drinks and your food, everything else is taken care of. And I was like, awesome, let's go, let's book this. Okay, so you drive up to their house, and then there's a little gravel parking lot. You jump out of the gravel parking lot, and he pulls up in a side-by-side. You load everything up from your car into the side-by-side, jump in the side-by-side, and then he drives you back to your campsite. And it's like over a hill and dale and valley and yonder and like really rough terrain to get back.
The caissons go rolling along. Is that what's happening?
They do. They do. And which is again fine, because we're supposed to be kind of camping and roughing it, and it's not that long of a drive out from his, rustic out from his house. We get there, and I note, and then he's like, well, I gotta walk you through everything just so you know how it works. And I was like, okay.
Like, what do you mean?
What do you mean works?
Like, hold on. You said
all I had to do is show up with food and my drinks, and now there's a tutorial. Okay.
Yeah.
And so when he said that they had water, what he meant was they had one of those big cube like water tanks that you see with like the extra metal reinforcement around it.
Yeah.
Up on a plinth. And
yes, the old gravity pressure
to create the head pressure. Yes.
Oh boy.
And the plumb, like one went into a little sink on the ground floor, which was also in where the flushable toilet was. So there is a flushable toilet. However,
once, right? Like if you got
however, what you had to do to refill it was there was actually a little ball valve right above the tank. And so so when you flushed, you then had to open the ball valve, let it fill up.
Manually refill.
Refill. Wow. And the shower, all of the showers there are basically outdoor showers because it's outdoors, right? So that's one thing.
Yeah.
Like so that's, a whole other thing. But he uses this it's a camping thing made by Coleman, and it has one of those big green gas like stove bottles in it. You screw that into one side, you click a button, and it's also it's electric. You click a button, you hear it go as the fire kicks on, and it has two hoses. One hose is dropped down into basically a 5-gallon bucket. It sucks up water from that, comes up through the thing, through the burner so that it can heat up, and then the other hose comes out through the shower head. But because a lot of people shower with more than 5 gallons of water, there is also a little ball valve into that bucket. So when you start showering, you basically open that ball valve, turn on the pump, and
go for it. Holy cow!
So you're extracting and refilling at the same time, which is fun.
No.
And you have to monitor that because sometimes the electric pump will suck more or less, so you could overfill or it could run dry. Like you really gotta monitor.
It's a lot of stress for showering, right?
Right? And then we go up, and he had said we'll have, and I should have caught this, and you might not have heard this either. Whenever I read verbatim what he told me, he had used the phrase some electricity.
Yeah, that's the part that Dad told me about. And so when you said there will be some electricity, I was just waiting on pins and needles. I was like, oh boy, here it comes.
So I had envisioned like outlet and some limited solar panels or something. But what it actually was a giant, it looks like one of those backup batteries for like electronics. Have you seen those things where they're like 3 shoeboxes tall? Have you seen these things?
Yeah.
It's one of those that he charges at his house and then brings out to the campsites for you to use.
I feel like a solar panel or two would just be much more efficient, right?
Well, what you need solar panels plus that thing. So it's constantly, right?
Recharging.
So you can recharge it because there are some it powered everything if you needed it to. There was a socket that you could plug into, right? There were some high efficiency, very nice lights that were stringed together that you could turn on. It charged the walkie-talkie that was there so that you could radio to the front office. But then he also admitted that he and his wife are terrible at having that on them. So hopefully we had cell set reception so that we could call them if we needed anything, which is encouraging.
Yeah. Don't have an emergency. Bye.
Don't have an emergency. Bye. And later. And so now I'm like, oh, okay. So I have a battery to work with. Like I don't have electricity. I have a battery, and that's very different. To monitor this. Real quick,
you gotta like Apollo 13 it, right? Like I can only draw so much, many amps. I gotta decide what to turn on, when, and where.
Right. Well, exactly. So I'm like, well,
level, okay.
Right. Doing my order of operations here. Exactly. So I immediately know that we're not going to use any of the string lights. right? Yeah, we're not going to use any string lights. I'm not going to use
Oh, no.
like I brought an external battery pack for our phones. So like I already got
Good
that
job.
covered. I'm not touching that. We do.
I also brought some candle lanterns.
Right. We came fairly prepared, and I'm glad I came as prepared as I did. But I knew that our kids have like it's a new situation, and they do sleep with sound, like they do sleep with sound playing. So I was like, I'm now worried about this lasting all night. It doesn't draw a lot, right? But it is a speaker, and that draws more power than you think. And I have no idea the capacity of this battery. I don't know how much. What's the realistic? What can I like? He's just like, I charged it to 100% for you, and I was like,
but 100% of what? Right?
Of
like
what?
how many?
Yes. Yeah. So let's dive down this track. Cut to it's that evening. We've just had dinner, and the kids want to have s'mores and hot chocolate. Well, when he dropped us off, he gave us hot chocolate K-cups to put in the little tiny knockoff Keurig in the thing. And I was like, well, we're having hot chocolate. Let's do this. But also, I didn't bring enough like water for this. And all I see is this big tank out there. And I don't know if it's potable. Right? Like we did. So now all of a sudden I'm going, oh, I need to be boiling lots and lots of water, because on the phone call, he said, we have water taken care of. So I thought that was like, anyway, so I'm not taking any chances. We got to boil water, and boiling water on a stove or over a fire takes a long time. Right. So that's all I did basically once we arrived, and I figured out the water situation. So I've got the water situation. I'm pouring it into the thing. I'm making hot chocolate, and I have to make 4. I have to run this thing 4 times. Okay.
Yeah.
I then checked to see the battery after I ran this. Okay. Battery went from 100% to 74% after running this thing 4 times.
Thanks, high specific heat capacity of water. Look at you go.
Oh man, I was beyond like, oh no, I have really done it now, because there's no way this is going to charge that thing all night. But then we start looking. So that's the power situation. And so cut forward to that at 3 a.m. the next day, we just ran out of power entirely, and it went silent.
Oh no!
It just went silent. Like it lasted from 7 until 3, which is still a good run. But like,
true.
But I was like, oh, I bet if I would have not done that extra 30% would have gotten me past. Anyway, whatever. We'll never know.
But then you wouldn't have had any hot chocolate.
I wouldn't have any chocolate, which was very important with our s'mores.
That's true.
Which is it's important. And then I go, well, it's time to make dinner. So that's cut around that timeline. Let's go back to making dinner, because they had said, we have everything you need. Just bring your food. They do have a nice gas grill, where it's got a big hot plate and then like a little oven section. So like it is very utilitarian, very nice. This is where I've been boiling all my water.
Important.
Not electric, very, very important. I noticed that
the kettle on the hot plate, like blam.
That's actually where I was. I had one kettle on the hot plate and one over the fire, trying to tag team that. But basically, anyway, like they've got.
Oh, you're telling me the Keurig alone drained 30% of the what in the heckles?
Yes.
Man? Wow.
It wasn't even. It's not even the fancy Keurig. Like it's a tiny one of the micro ones. Like those tiny. All it can make is a single cup. Like that's all this one does.
Yeah, but like badly and inefficiently. You need like a billion amps to make 1 cup of coffee. Should just like rip the K cups open and put them in a pot. Like, all right, here we go. Mass boil on the.
They actually did have a percolator coffee thing. I should have just
put it in there
and put that on the oven, the stovetop, and then just made it that way. Like I really should have, but I didn't think to do that, because I was like,
very, very Boy Scouts, the percolator.
I was like, who's who's good? How bad is this going to be? So I'm going through I'm doing an inventory of what we have there. And I'm like, okay, look, we've got knives, we've got forks. I see some mugs, some plates. I see a spatula. I see a big fork. I see a carving fork thing. I see a cast iron skillet. And that's it for cooking supply.
So no pot? Like
no,
really? Like
no pot. Not even one pot. No
Bro.
pots at all.
you could not have a pot. Like what? Even I, non-cooker that I am, whenever I was living alone many, many years ago, before my wife saved me from a life of starvation, I had a pot.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is crucial for making things in the kitchen. Right? You need pots and pans.
For everything.
Yeah.
So, and let me tell you what we were going to have for dinner that night. Spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. Famous for not needing a pot.
Not needing a pot spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can technically do it in a pan, I guess, but like not well
or
efficiently.
You fill the tea kettle with water and then put the spaghetti in the tea kettle.
You put the spaghetti in the percolator, and then you just.
I didn't put it in the percolator, but I did put it in the tea kettle, and I boiled that sucker, and then it was actually quite. So I had this. I did warm. I know you're not supposed to do this. Whatever, come after me. I did put the pasta sauce in the cast iron skillet. Right. I know you're not supposed to do that because acidity and whatever. I don't care.
Fine. Listen, it's okay. This was dire. Okay.
Yeah. So I've got the pasta sauce in the cast iron skillet, and I'm boiling the pasta in the tea kettle. Once it's done, I'm like, oh, I also don't have a sieve now, but that's okay. I just take I pop open the little tea kettle nozzle thing there, and after it's going whistling, and I just take my fork and I put it over the opening and I dump it into a bush.
There you go.
And it works. And then I did put it in the cast iron skillet to let it like finish just for a minute, and then I was done. But yeah, and then I realized like, oh, I now have to clean the pasta out of the tea kettle. And there's a lot more crevices in there than you would expect.
Well, and the opening at the top is not, hand sized. So
right. And there's a lip around there where pasta just fits right in there. That spaghetti just right in that lip. So that was fun. But it was fantastic. It was a great night. I actually slept outside in my camping hammock that I took with me, and so that was fantastic. And so the sleeping quarters are up in the treehouse, and downstairs is where they have like the little kitchen kind of sink, bathroom, and shower because head pressure again. So it's 3 a.m. and I'm laying in bed, and I'd been drifting in and out all night. Again, just kind of how you do when you're in the middle of the woods, of like your body, especially when you're not used to it. After a while, like, oh, what was that sound? And I was like, okay, go back to sleep. Like, oh, what was that sound? I'll go back to sleep. So I wake up and I hear like banging in our bathroom, and like clanging and lots of movement. And I was like, this is it. Like, okay.
Something has gone wrong.
I am outside in a hammock, and there is something clanging and banging inside of our bathroom. And I'm like, the only thing I have with me is my big light that's like a big like construction light with battery powered. And I'm like, I'll use this to blind it, and then I'll make it upstairs. And I'm like, just staring super intently at the door because the door is wide open. And I remember I had shut it before I went to bed. So I'm just staring, and I'm waiting. And then I hear singing.
And then I saw my daughter.
And Lillian was going to the bathroom.
I knew it.
And singing and talking to herself.
Oh, Lord.
And I rolled back over to bed and was like, oh my God.
So I bopped her on the head with my flashlight.
And blinded her in the face and then locked her outdoors. Yeah. Ha. so so we made it through the night, and and overall it was a fantastic time to get out, enjoy, do something kind of crazy, and like very last minute, no time for second thoughts. Really.
Oh yeah, no time
They
at all.
they they had they did have a lake there that we could go, and we went kayaking and canoeing on, which was fun, and kind of fed the fish and just went around that and tried to
Oh, that's cool.
I tried to paddleboard, which is a lot harder than it looks.
Oh yeah, it is.
And
Getting ready for your summertime dad adventure, right?
I am. This is my
Yeah,
preemptive
nice.
ready for this.
Are you
But then
are you gonna get your fly rod that dad got you for Christmas a couple years ago? Are you gonna go? Nah,
that's what
yeah.
we should all do.
Yeah,
is we
that's
should
what I
do
was
nothing
thinking.
but fly fish.
Right? I think we should do like a side note fly fishing like Pokemon challenge. You got to catch them all, right? Boom, you got to catch.
Okay, I'm ready for this.
I have to remember how to procure a fishing license, but other than that, we're
you can do it online or through the app. It's really
sweet.
easy.
Okay,
Anyway,
we'll talk about that later. Anyway.
Yes, okay. So we did that. They have a trail. It's only like a mile and a half, so you can finish it pretty quick. And then that's about it for things to do. Their target market for people is really like young professionals or people wanting to just get away for a weekend and basically sit on a porch and drink wine and read a book. Like that's really who they're after. So for us who are like, let's get out, let's hike, let's explore, let's blah blah. Like we did all that in the first 30 minutes, and then we're like, oh,
oh no.
Well, we'll stretch this. So, and then again, like had to radio to be like, we're ready to go. Come pick us up, please. And, the little side by side came by, loaded us up, and we leapt. So
don't look in the skillet.
Sorry. I didn't have another option. But I did, I oiled it and did all that stuff to clean it and whatever. But I am, if we had just showed up and I did not have any like prior history with actual camping, this would have gone very poorly for everybody. Like we would have been,
oh yeah, right.
It would have been real bad because like all of a sudden it was like all that kind of like easy plan. And then it's also a reminder of like when you're in those situations, just how much of your day is actually consumed thinking about preparing and executing, making a meal. Like that's all, like it just takes forever. And there's so much time involved. It was like, oh my gosh, like if we had just showed up completely unprepared, had nothing, like it would have been real bad. Or if we had to stay a second night, I was like, okay, it's like I'm ready to leave. Because we just weren't prepared mentally for like anybody. Like I was like, oh, okay, we're camping, but like Megan and the kids were like, oh, we're what? Thought we were staying in a nice treehouse with running water and electricity. I was like, well,
there is water and some electricity.
Yeah.
So dun dun dun. Get ready.
Yes. And literally, they didn't care at all. Like it was a blast. Like they had fun. They got to, because we had the whole site to our, like all of their property to ourselves. Like we just kind of wandered, and we brought our own walkie-talkies to talk with one another. So there were times where like Megan and I would stay by the fire and the kids would take a walkie and they would go down to the little lake. It's not a big lake, right? It's a little lake and like
pond.
Right, yeah. It's a large pond, small lake. And like walk around it, like go explore, feed the fish, go collect stuff, and then come back and show us. Like that was fun. And they really enjoyed that aspect of just kind of being like out doing our own thing. And that was fun. So would we go back? Probably not, because again, like nobody else there. Beautiful weather so that we could spend all the time outside, because that's the other thing. If the weather were bad and we had to be inside,
oh yeah, that would be terrible.
Like not a fun. It's not a big treehouse, people. Like not a big treehouse. So having to be inside of that.
Yeah, remember Collin slept outside.
I slept
So
outside.
it tells you how nice and luminous it was.
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah. Hold up. So yes.
Wait a minute.
Right. Like that was, had it been worse, it was like worse weather. It's like, or colder, right? Like where we couldn't be out doing stuff.
Like
it was
today.
like today. Like seriously, if it was like we would have just been miserable sitting in the inside with like the flies ever increasing in number. Cause oh my gosh, it was just like you could tell the flies were like, yay, people, we're all here. Hello. Oh, please leave us alone. But yeah, it was because of that, I was like, this really just does need to be like a couple's getaway or like a person going, I just need to go real. I just want to go sit in the middle of the woods and read a book. Like this is the place for you. I have found the place for you. Like seriously, you can get right on the little side by side and just never have to leave your tent or the porch on your tent and you're good, right? Like it would be a wonderful time. But if you're wanting to do stuff or be active or, not, it's not the thing.
Yeah.
So
that's yeah. Dang. That's okay.
Overall, not bad. We survived. Dinner was great. Everything was perfect. Like in that aspect, like we had a blast as a family and would definitely do it again. But I don't think we would do it again. Like I really, anyway, it was just,
yeah.
So our next trip was what we decided because we came up with 2 trip ideas because we were like, we're going to go away for one night, not too far away. And the nice thing about this place was it's 30 minutes from our house. So not bad. But our other thing was we could take the train to Herman, Missouri, and stay in a historic cottage for a night at a bed and breakfast.
Some electricity water.
And water. Yes. and
you know what historic buildings have?
Yeah.
Not electricity.
Not electricity. Not a lot sometimes. And stay at a bed and breakfast and then come home the next day. But we didn't want to do that because it was like, well, it's going to be so nice outside. And Megan kept on saying like, I want to be outside. I want to go walking and blah, blah. And then when we were in a cabin with no electricity and no water, she was glaring at me. And I was like, well, we're outside.
Yeah, you wanted this.
Huh? I got you outside. We're in the middle of the woods. How about that? I did really good on that, didn't I? Stop. Why are you staring at me so No, I'm fine. I'll just go downstairs and boil some more water. Okay, be right back.
I mean, there was outside, right? Outside existed. That's okay. Like, it's about...
So it was, I would, it's very interesting. I did think, I was like, this would be kind of fun to get the rest of the family out here because then we could all have our own cabins and we wouldn't have to, like, we could have the common area and then we could all go back to our cabins and that'd be fun. I think that'd be so.
No,
we'll survive.
Bite your tongue, sir.
We'll survive this lake trip and then we'll go glamping together as a family.
Wow.
Because I think that would make everybody super happy.
Oh yeah,
happy
because I love some electricity.
We could all pool our resources though. See, that'd be fun.
Oh Lord.
They are building a geodesic dome over a valley. So that'll be fun. It's like on a raised thing off the side of a little cliff. That'd be neat. Again, cliff for northern Missouri. So like, don't get crazy, people. But the other thing that I am excited about is they are building what they call the double tree house. So what they're going to have is they're going to have two tree houses, separated by some feet.
A bridge.
Well, so each
is it going to be like Hook?
It's going to be kind of like Hook. Rufio.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Each treehouse is going to be self-sufficient, going to have its own little kitchenette thing, like everything else. AKA kitchenette. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We know what that means.
No pots. That's what it
no
means.
pots, but a very a power hungry Keurig knockoff.
Yeah.
With their queen beds and all like glass floor to ceiling windows because it's going to be up on a ridge overlooking their little lake. But the space in between them, they're going to actually do because nothing else has this right now. All bathrooms are on ground floor. They're going to have
generators.
No, they should have a generator. They just need solar panels. Look, I'm telling, just not that hard,
right? Like,
no, but they're going to have a raised bathroom that's going to be shared between the two tree houses, like a Jack and Jill bathroom. Except the only way that you can get to that bathroom
like
is
a dorm room
via rope bridges. Yes,
that's worse.
No.
Imagine you like really have to go like to the bathroom like really bad, and then you have to traverse some sort of like janky rope bridge to get there. This is like a recipe for disaster, right? Like you're gonna be.
So
you're like, oh, I need to hurry to the back. Oh,
well, especially whenever you understand that like most of the people who come out are like
yeah, if there's gonna be wine involved, this is even worse.
Definitely imbibe a lot while they are out.
Yeah.
What
a great plan.
So now they're going to involve suspended rope bridges.
Oh, yes.
I don't think this could go wrong at all.
Dun, 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 dun. It's just going to be like Temple of Doom, right? It's what's going to happen. It's going to be.
Yep. The reenactment of a Flying Melinda act out there.
Oh. Dang. As long as it's not a reenactment of the Flying Graysons, I think we'll be
good. You see why I chose them. Yes. So that was our big adventure for the time. So definitely
and it's quite an adventurous adventure.
It's fun.
So dang. Some electricity indeed. That's what it is.
So I've got water and some electricity. Okay, cool, yes. cool. I can work with that. Oh wait.
Oh no.
And then once Megan realized
how many watt hours is some?
Some.
That's what I need to know. I need a quantifiable number, right?
And I'm glad I had the external battery pack that I brought for our phones because had I not, like, that would have been not so good. So yeah, it was a learning experience. It was fun, but everyone voted that next time we'll do the train term.
Yeah, fair. And now you know, and as we know, knowing is half the battle. Boom, got it
done. Got it in.
Listeners, I hope you're picking up all these wonderful illusions this time on this episode here. These are good ones. I don't know. Keeping you on your toes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's quite adventurous, I gotta say. Very adventurous. We did not have quite as much adventuring. We did go see our friend before she's off to Thailand. So we got the lowdown on that deal, right? So saw her, talked about that. She's gonna go. She has family over there, so she's gonna be staying with her like aunt and uncle, right? And she's gonna be doing some English tutoring.
Oh, cool!
Kablam! And nice. So that'd be pretty sweet.
Is that through an organization or
not
is it local?
Yeah, so this time it's just through like her aunt's friends. So like it's
gotcha. Okay, well that's cool. Still good connection.
But she did say, she's like, yeah, people with teaching degrees can make a lot more money if they go and do that. And I was like, wait, I have a teaching degree. How much more money exactly?
Right.
It's like, wait a minute. But then I realized that this week alone in Thailand, it's going to be 100 degrees every single day, not counting humidity. And I was like, wait a minute, Adam.
Never mind.
I don't know. Hold on. I changed my mind about
Are English instructors needed in rural mountainous Italian villages?
Yeah, well, hopefully not rural mountainous Thailand, because you want to talk about some water.
Yeah.
Oh no. So that would be relatively horrifying. We go from like very modern city to mountains real quick, right? When you start going
Yeah.
like up to like Chiang Mai or whatever, like oh no.
Mm. Yeah, that gets real bad. Real
Yeah.
remote, real fast.
So yeah, or Chiang Mai or whatever. But yeah, so yeah, she's doing that. She left this week, right? So hope you like the heat, buddy. Haha. There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got the lowdown on all that, plans and
Nice.
stuff. She does get to see the Thai New Year, the Songkran or whatever, because that's like next week, like the big water festival with all the elephants all painted and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
Cool.
So yeah, so she was like, I might have planned this around that. That might be what happened here.
Oh man.
I was like, smart. I like it.
Trixie.
Yes. Very nice. And then yeah, so we had that. And then the only other news is that her sister, the girl that you met when we were down there, she's getting married.
Oh.
Right. And so
yeah,
got to hear she was talking very fast into like other people, but like we were getting some of the insight on traditional Hmong weddingness.
Oh, what?
Oh boy.
What?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This?
I don't know exactly. But she was sort of explaining stuff to us and like different traditions that they have to do and all these things. And there definitely is a chicken involved at some point, right?
What?
They do the they wave a chicken over your head because it's supposed to like bless you and like keep away like bad spirits and stuff like that, right?
Is the chicken alive?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I saw the video. The chicken flapped her wings and just smacked her right in the head, right? It was kind of very romantic.
Nice.
But yeah, it got the lowdown on some of that stuff. So it sounds like a very it's like a very serious affair, right? And there's a whole bunch of stuff, right? There's like, they still do like a like, haggling over like the price or whatever, but it's like not quite, it's not like they're buying the bride, right? It's like that they like do the traditional bit.
Yeah.
But it's like about like who's gonna have the food for this thing or like that, right? So it's like
okay.
It's not like serious, but it's like it's the custom. They're still like doing the custom thing.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's like a go between, and she was telling us that like there's a person that is like assigned to the bride, and like during the whole day her job is to just follow her around and make sure she doesn't run off. Apparently this is a problem in like the olden days. They're just like they just like get up and run away. So there's that.
That's hilarious. Go on Bride Watch, right? And just like, we got a runner.
And then there's like certain foods that you have to eat to ensure like prosperity and like good luck and all this stuff. And like other foods are like very taboo because they're like associated with like, negative things, right? She said that like you have to, they're like, we had to eat like this pork, like boiled pork. And I was like, oh, she's like, no, but you can't put spice in it because you don't want like the bad, spiciness in your life. So it has to be like very bland, very like blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, that's less exciting. But like
that is very weird, interesting.
Yeah. So it's just like, there's a lot of very traditional elements. So she said she's going to do that. And then she's going to later, like after they've been married for a while, they're going to have like a Western wedding to like have like more friends and stuff come to that.
Sure.
But they did like, they're doing like the traditional one for like family, like and big huge extended family, right? Like enormous. Right. So
I bet.
And so they're doing all that. And so she's gonna have 2 weddings. So
nice.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I have to report here. I got the lowdown on I got the brief overview of Hmong traditional wedding things. And I got little update on why on earth a person is going to Thailand for just like 6 months. But
well,
it's fine.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear the report on how the heat was. I think that's really what I'm interested in there.
Yeah, like how that is. I don't know if I could survive. Like,
No.
I think I would just like melt into a puddle on the street, and then be like, oh well, yep, that's it.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
just evaporate right there, gone. Like, oh no. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've done this week, other than storm watch. But anything else interesting? At Easter, hunted some Easter eggs.
Yes,
Susan is too sneaky at hiding eggs.
I heard
confirmed.
there was some problems. Yes.
She hides them too well and then forgets where she hid them. And so she's like, there's 10 eggs to find. We're like, we found 9. And she's like, huh. Where's the other one?
Oh no.
She's very sneaky. That Susan
she's so sneaky.
She's too good at hiding Easter eggs.
Nice.
Too good. Right? Gotta rein her in a little bit. Like, don't do that. What are you doing?
Maybe
we're the outlaw because she's like, oh yeah, you got to look under stuff. Like, okay, hold on.
No.
Wait a minute now.
That's not
getting a little overzealous here with the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Yeah.
It's hard enough. You're sneaky enough when you just like hide them out. So I don't know if we need to add in like under and behind things. Like maybe behind, maybe not under. Right?
Under is a bit excessive. We did it was requested that we do an Easter egg hunt in the woods. So that was done. Megan did go hide them. We did not do them like off the trail. Like we didn't go just like,
oh yeah, just like gallivanting through the poison ivy,
through the deep woods.
Like, oh, no. We'll throw them in this badger hole.
Exactly. I don't know. Reach in there and see what happens. Maybe there's more.
Yeah.
No, we did kind of like along.
Is it an Easter egg? Is it a snake? Who knows?
Yeah, just find out. Pull hard.
Is it actually just a rabbit? Like, what is this?
hope you had fun with your fingers there, because they're not there.
Yeah, because it's here now. Ha!
But anyway, we had some trouble refinding them because shockingly, even putting like purple and bright yellow and blue plastic Easter eggs in the woods, they're still really hard to find. It's shocking how quickly they disappear.
Isn't it though? Like just poof.
But yours were especially hard because they were under things, so that's that makes it. That's a you need to start making
small. They were like
make a rule book.
Eggs too,
That's
right? So they were like the little ones. So
no.
Most of them weren't bad. There was just like a handful that were like, where on earth is this? But it's all right. It was all right. We overcame. We found them. We were victorious.
Well done. Done.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. I haven't really done anything. It's a very weird time of year, right? Just don't have too much going on, but yeah, pretty much it. So, yeah.
Well, I think real quick in closing, we were supposed to follow up with who did the fair book.
Oh, right. Yes.
Did you go and check to see who it was?
I saw that one of them was a tractor pull.
Okay. So if you just look at this is their fair grandstand event. So they've got tractor pulls and more tractor pulls.
Even though I read an article saying the fair was not going to be able to have a tractor pull. And then they're like, "Oh, we're having a tractor pull," and I was like,
"Well,
what?
No, different.
Okay, hold on, like
different tractor pulls."
This is what I could understand. I didn't read the full thing, right?
Yeah.
But I just saw like, and they were like, "We're not going to be able to do this," blah blah. And then I saw having a tractor pull. What?
Yeah, so they had to shut down one of their centers there, so that cuts out some of their indoor activities. But all of the big league like pro stuff is still outdoors at the
because they're
arena. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I will contend, by far the best tractor pull to go see at the Missouri State Fair is they called them the classics.
Yeah, these are unmodified tractors. That's my favorite too.
These are the unmodified tractors from like 1932, like the Farmalls, all of those with nothing's been touched. These are the tractors to go see pull. They are fantastic and just a lot of fun because you actually have a conversation while things are going on, and it's fun to see the cool old equipment still out there pulling and taking names. So that's my pitch for that.
No, yeah, I agree. Those are great. I like those parts. They always used to close the FFA one when we were in school. There was like the end. Yes. It was just like, it was cool.
Yeah, that's good. But now they added some guy named Ian Munsick with Creed Fisher was the new addition, right?
Oh,
so
okay, nice. Again, I can't pick people I don't know who they are.
Didn't know who this person was. Yeah. There is one night left open. August 17th. And look, I think if we can remember, what night did REO Speedwagon have?
That's true. I believe.
I believe it was the 17th.
Let's go.
All I'm saying is that if I get this, I'm going. So
just like wearing a Hailmade t-shirt that just says I predicted this, like no context whatsoever.
Like, yeah. This was no. My shirt will just say this was foretold.
Oh. Oh, that's better. Signs point to yes.
Signs point to yes. Exactly. And I'll stand outside anyway.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah, it's that's what they got there. So I don't know. But anyway,
I like it.
So yeah, that's congratulations, Ian. Good job. Good
yes.
Stuff.
Rock the stands.
Woo.
Got him. All right. Well, I didn't really have anything very exciting this week, but I do have a haiku
for you.
If you're interested. Yeah.
Always.
I can interest you in a bit of poetry.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
All right. Are you ready for this?
I'm a little worried. I have no idea. This is the point where I frantically look at last week's notes. I'm like, what did he pick?
Oh boy. Well, I really went out on a limb here.
Okay.
I'll talk a little bit about this. I'll give you some context afterwards. But
okay,
here we go. I will say, I'm sorry in advance.
Wonderful things in history have started with. Before I start,
I feel like that's important. Well, it'll make sense in a minute. Ready?
Okay.
Again, I apologize. Not great at this, but here we go. Una valigia. Esplorare il mondo. Nuova casa.
I got the last one.
Blam. Blam. That haiku is in Italian. Just in case you didn't get that. So I apologize for my pronunciation Italian friends. I do not speak Italian, as previously discussed.
Right.
But I did attempt to write my haiku in Italian since we were talking about our moving plans, right? Last time.
Yeah.
Now, I got to say, I don't know if Italians write haikus because every Italian word I was trying to use has like 90 syllables.
This is
it's so hard because they're all like all these words have like there's just words that just have 6 syllables.
Right. So many. Why so many?
Like when every word has 4 syllables, making a haiku, it becomes very difficult.
So what? I got the new house at the end there. Right? Okay, so
that part is a very simple. it's okay. So when you look at this written down, it's very similar to Spanish, right? No offense to Spanish, but the translation roughly would be. Now the translation is not in a correct syllabic form, obviously.
Sure.
Okay, but it roughly translates to a suitcase, exploring the world, new home.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I have trouble saying suitcase, right? I want to say valeta because that's the Spanish, but it's una valigia.
Valigia?
Esplorare il mondo. Mondo is like, that's very, like monde in French is the world. So that's similar there. So I will copy paste this and just send it to you so you don't have to try to type that out.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. I have the translated version here, but yeah. And I think as far as ingratiating ourselves to people, I think poetry is a great way to do this. So I think so. I am all for it.
I feel like, the Italians would appreciate this, right? This attempt, right? I don't know if it's successful. Again, I'm not, who knows? It's hard to, because like the words are different and like, I did probably, in poetry, you use you use different, you don't use full sentences anyway. So I probably use like incorrect word form, but
right.
It's all right. Like
that's, it's the heart that counts there.
Yeah. There it is.
And boom, again, you were dealing with 1.5 billion syllables. So I think just
so many syllables, right? so many multisyllabic words. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Like, wow, these are very long. A lot of these ideas sound better in Italian. I will tell you that, right? There's that. You got that going for them, right?
Do they fit in this context?
Do they fit the context? I don't know. Need to work on my Italian accent, right? Because I don't know. Because I don't know, like I know what French is supposed to sound like, right? I understand, like when you speak French, you just don't open your mouth and you sound French. Boom, got it. Right. That will offend all the French listeners. I apologize, but
well done.
Spanish, I know how Spanish sounds, but like Italian, I don't really know the inflection and sort of like the accenty kind of stuff. I am not entirely sure. So it sounds a little bit weird when I say it. So again, apologize to my Italian friends, but I thought I'd give it a go and attempt the haiku in Italian this week just for funsies.
That was way more ambitious than I think. That's taking it to a whole other level there. We're doing different languages now.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if I could do it. So I was
okay. Very nice.
Kind of tricky, but
well done. I like it. That's good. Good. Okay. I'm gonna make all that in italics to even make it go pop.
There you go, blam.
That's how you know it's in a foreign language, because it's in Italian.
That's true, and because it doesn't look like English. So,
ta-da! Okay. Well, I'm not doing a haiku in another language next week, so we're just going to set that bar right now.
That's all right. It's all good.
Okay.
I was just sitting and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't really know. And I was like, I wonder.
Is this
even possible?
And
so
it was.
There is a result. Again,
yes.
Italians, let me know how bad it is. Okay, let me know. Help me out with my pronunciation, please. Let me give me tips you got.
And we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay, well that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Very good. Okay, well we'll end on that high note before things go downhill from here, and we'll try this again next week.
All right.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.